Dear students, in the last class, we were discussing about various aspects of NMR spectroscopy like number of signal, position of signal, intensity of signal, and the last one is splitting of the signal or spin-spin coupling. So, today we are going to talk about spin-spin coupling in detail. Here, the contents of today's presentation are: number one, introduction of the spin-spin coupling. Second one is spin-spin interaction. Third one is coupling constant, that is denoted by capital J. Okay. In the next slides, we will discuss in detail what is coupling constant and what are the factors affecting the coupling constant. And next is types of coupling constant. Number one is geminal coupling, that can be denoted by superscript 2J HH. This number 2 denotes the type of coupling constant or number of the bonds through which interaction is taking place or coupling is taking place. It means in geminal type of the coupling, two protons undergoing spin-spin coupling are two bonds apart from each other. Is it clear? The second type of the coupling constant is vicinal coupling or vicinal coupling constant. It is denoted by 3JHH, where 3 represents the number of bonds through which the spin-spin interaction taking place between two protons. It means these two protons are 3 bonds apart from each other, and in this type of the coupling, these two protons are 2 bonds apart from each other. Okay? The third one is long range coupling. Is it clear? What we are going to discuss in today's video lecture, I think the picture is clear what we are going to talk in this video lecture. The next is, what do we know? We have discussed NMR spectroscopy through various video lectures, and what do we know and what we have learned from those video lectures are summarized as follows in this slide. Number one, every nucleus for which spin quantum number I not equal to 0, it means magnetic nucleus, behave as tiny bar magnet. This point is clear. We have already discussed and very well know about it. The magnetic nuclei for which spin quantum number is not equal to 0 behaves as tiny bar magnet. Okay? And why such type of the nucleus behaves as tiny bar magnet, we have discussed in earlier video lectures, so we are not going through in more detail in today's lecture about this point. Next is electron density around the proton affects chemical shift value. Is it clear? When we discussed chemical shift and the factor affecting the value of chemical shift, we have known in detail that electron density around the proton affects chemical shift value. Okay, because the electron density around the proton influences the shielding and de-shielding of the protons. Third one is circulation of electrons, sigma or pi electrons. Electrons may be sigma electrons if present in the sigma bond, and electrons may be of pi type if present in the pi bond. Okay, when we put the magnetic nuclei or the compound which contains the magnetic nuclei like protons, then under the influence of external magnetic field, these electrons, either sigma electrons or pi electrons, start circulate. And this circulation of the electrons generates induced magnetic field. Induced magnetic field is also called secondary magnetic field. Okay, and this induced magnetic field may be unsymmetrical or may be symmetrical. What do you mean about symmetrical and unsymmetrical induced magnetic field? Here we mean if circulation of the electrons under the influence of external magnetic field generates only one type of the magnetic moment, then this magnetic field is called symmetrical magnetic field. Okay, is it clear? And in the case when protons or electrons circulating around the protons generates two type of the magnetic moment, that is called diamagnetic and paramagnetic, then such type of the induced magnetic field is called unsymmetrical magnetic field. This point is clear? Now, next is induced magnetic field produced by neighboring proton. This point is very important point because today's topic is based on this point. Induced magnetic field produced by neighboring protons affect the appearance of proton NMR signal. Okay, induced magnetic field produced by neighboring protons affects the appearance of proton NMR signal. Okay, how? In the next slides we will discuss how the induced magnetic field on the neighboring protons affects the appearance of proton NMR signal. Okay, so I have mentioned this point in different color because today's topic is based on this point. Here, introduction. What is spin-spin coupling or spin-spin interaction? See here, signal multiplicity is the result of magnetic effect of neighboring proton. As we have discussed in the previous slide, that signal multiplicity is the result of magnetic effect of neighboring proton. Splitting phenomena does not operate through space, just like chemical shift. Okay, is it clear? Splitting phenomena does operate through the bonds or bonding electrons. Separation between two consecutive lines is always constant within a multiplate, irrespective of B0. B0 here B0 is strength of applied or external magnetic field. It means in a multiplate, the distance or separation between two consecutive lines will always be constant, irrespective of the strength of external magnetic field. When we change the strength of external magnetic field, then there will be no change in the J value. Here, spin interactions. This is the spectrum of 1,2-dichloroethane. You can see only one type of the protons are there because the chemical environment of both type of the protons is same. So there will be no splitting of the signal. And we get only one signal in NMR spectrum. This signal is of TMS and this signal is for these equivalent type of the protons. And we get this signal at delta value 3.73. Is it clear? It means in this case, we do not observe any type of the splitting of the signal. The second example is 1,1-dichloroethane. This one is the 1,2-dichloroethane and this example is 1,1-dichloroethane. Here we get two NMR signal because two type of the protons are there. These protons are of A-type protons and these protons are of B-type protons. Okay, so the position of signal in the NMR spectrum will be different for both type of the protons. Here, this signal is of TMS, that is used as reference material, and this is doublet and occurred due to the B type of the protons, means these CS3 protons appears as doublet in NMR spectrum at delta value 2.06. Okay, means slightly uphill because these electronegative atoms are directly attached with this carbon atom but very far away from these protons. So the de-shielding effect caused by these electronegative atoms will be very less. Okay, here these CS protons will appear as quartet because there are 3 protons on the surrounding carbon atom, and according to n+1 rule we can calculate the multiplicity of a signal. 3 + 1 = 4. It means this signal will be appeared as quartet at delta value 5.89. Is it clear? It means NMR spectrum of 1,1-dichloroethane splits due to the presence of non-equivalent protons in their surrounding or at surrounding carbon atom. In this spectrum, we observed splitting. Okay, is it clear? When we get splitted signal or when we get non-splitted signal. When a compound contains different type of the protons or protons in different chemical environment, then we get splitted signal. And in the case when the chemical environment of all the protons are same, like 1,2-dichloroethane, we get non-splitted signal. Is it clear? Now, here are some examples. This is A type of the protons because this proton is under the close proximity of R1 and R2. These are the substituent present on carbon atom. And this is B type of the protons present in close proximity of R3 and R4 type of the substituent present on the carbon atom. It means this compound has two type of the protons, HA and HB. Now we observe the influence of this type of the protons on HA type of the protons. Okay, we are observing the effect of HB protons on the signal of HA protons. Here, two possible electronic environment produced by HB protons. Here, HB protons can create or produce two type of the electronic environment. One is aligned with the external magnetic field. We can represent this in this way, or against the external magnetic field. Suppose the direction of external magnetic field is in above direction, in this direction. Okay, then this orientation is aligned with the B0 and this orientation is against the B0. Is it clear? Here, in this case, we get this type of the splitted signal with 1:1 intensity, and HA signal appears as doublet in NMR spectrum. HA signal will be doublet because this proton interact with HB type of the protons. Okay, and this interaction occurs through the bonds, this bond, and this bond. Is it clear? Now next example, A type of the protons is in close proximity with the two HB type of the protons. The chemical environment of HA proton is different from HB type of the protons, but the chemical environment of B type of the proton is same. Okay, here the electronic environment produce this type of the orientations. These are two same type of the protons. So we have to denote the possible orientation in this type. Both are aligned with V0. One is aligned and another one is opposed. Okay. Suppose this is 1 and this is 2. 1 is aligning and 2 is opposing, and in the same way 1 is opposing and 2 is aligning, and third one is both are against the external magnetic field. Then in this case we get triplet, and the signal intensity will be in 1:2:1. HA signal appears as triplet. Then in this case HA signal will appear as triplet because there are two protons in the close proximity of this proton. Okay. Third example, this HA proton is in close proximity with three HB protons. These HB protons are something different from HA protons. So the signal of HA protons will be splitted in this way because the possible electronic environment produced by HB protons will be in this way. All the three protons may align with the external magnetic field, two aligned and one against. Then three possibilities will be there, and two opposed and one aligned. In this case also three possibilities are there, and last one is all three are opposing or against the external magnetic field. Then in this case we get quartets in the ratio 1:3:3:1. I think this point is clear. Now next, multiplicity indicates number of neighboring protons present in different environments. Is it clear? Spin-spin coupling is transmitted through the connecting bonds, not through space. We have already discussed and we have emphasized this point earlier very forcefully, that spin-spin coupling is transmitted only through connecting bonds. Okay? Equivalent protons don't split each other. If a compound contains more than one equivalent protons, then there will be no splitting, as we have discussed in the case of this example, 1,2-dichloroethane. Okay? Equivalent protons, is it clear? This point is clear? Equivalent protons don't split each other. Now, N+1 rule. What is N+1 rule? We have discussed in previous video lectures. Now we are going to repeat it because N+1 rule plays a very important role to understand the spin-spin coupling. If N is the number of neighboring protons, then the multiplicity will be N+1. Suppose there are 2 neighboring protons, then the multiplicity will be 2 plus 1 means 3. Okay, here a table has been given to get the relative intensities of individual peaks. If the number of neighboring atom is 1, then we get doublet of intensity 1:1. If the neighboring protons are 2, then we get triplet with intensity ratio 1:2:1. For 3 neighboring protons, we get quartet 1:3:1. In the same way, we get different type of the signal of different multiplicity with different relative intensities. Okay? Is it clear? We can find out these values using Pascal triangle also, as we have discussed in our earlier video lecture. Now, coupling constant. This is a very important topic of NMR spectroscopy, because using coupling constant value, we can reveal the spectral aspects of the organic compounds. And in coupling constant, we discuss what are the factors which influences the value of coupling constant J. First, we are going to discuss what is coupling constant. Okay, the distance between the centers of 2 adjacent peaks in a multiplate is called coupling constant or spin-spin coupling. This is very important definition which reveals what is coupling constant. Okay, here this is a triplet and this is a doublet, and we can see this is one peak or this is another peak, and the distance between these 2 peaks and the distance between the center of these 2 peaks is called J, coupling constant. In the same way, this distance is J, this distance is J. Okay? Coupling constant is expressed in unit hertz. Unlike the chemical shift, we express the chemical shift in part per million. Here we express coupling constant in hertz. The value of J remains constant and does not depend on magnetic field. When we change the strength of magnetic field, the value of J remains constant. It means J value does not affect by changing strength of external magnetic field. Why? We discuss in next slide. Here, coupling is reciprocal. Means, what do you mean about reciprocal? Here, this is an example, 1,1,2-trichloroethane. This is 1,1,2 trichloro, 1, 2, 3, trichloroethane. Here, two types of the protons are there. These are A type of the protons and this is B type of the protons. Okay, these are equivalent protons and this is different from this type of the protons. So we get 2 NMR signal. Okay, now we see the multiplicity of the signal. Here, these type of the protons means A type of the protons are under the influence of B type of the protons. Okay, then the signal of A type of the protons will be splitted in n+1 means 1 + 1, 2, doublet. It means here this is signal of A type of the protons, we get doublet. Is it clear? And the number of electronegative atoms attached with this carbon atom is 1. So if we measure the d-shielding of these two type of the protons, then we get these protons are more d-shielded in comparison to the A type of the protons. So signal due to A type of the protons will be occur at slightly towards upfield. So here we can see the delta value 3.96 ppm, and for this type of the protons we get triplet because there are two type of the protons on the neighboring carbon atom. So n+1 we can calculate the multiplicity of the signal obtained due to B type of the protons. So 2 + 1 will be 3, and we get the signal of B type of the protons slightly towards downfield side because there are two electronegative chloroatoms are attached with this carbon atom that will reduce the electron density around this type of the protons. When there will be lesser electron density, there will be less opposing effect on these protons. Okay, is it clear? Now we are discussing here coupling is reciprocal, means these protons are coupling with these protons. In the same way, this proton is also coupling with these protons. In this case, in this situation, we get the same value of coupling constant. You can see the coupling constant, any distance between the center of these two peaks in doublet is 6.1 Hertz. In the same way, the distance in multiplets means distance between these two consecutive peaks, center of these two consecutive peaks will be 6.1 Hertz also. This is called the coupling is reciprocal. Is it clear? Next, coupling constant is a measure of effectiveness of spin-spin coupling. A coupling constant is a measure of the effectiveness of spin-spin coupling. If the spin-spin coupling is more effective, then we get the greater value of coupling constant. And the effectiveness of spin-spin coupling depends upon various factors that will be discussed in the next video lecture. Now next is magnetic moment of a neighboring proton is the source of spin-spin coupling. Okay, this is very important point which reveals why we get the spin-spin coupling. Is it clear? And magnetic moment of a neighboring proton is the source of spin-spin coupling. Magnetic moment of proton does not depend upon B0, means strength of external magnetic field. Okay, and that's why J value does not vary B0. In the earlier slide, we have discussed that J value remains constant in changing strength of external magnetic field. Why? This point clears about that. Okay, magnetic moment of neighboring proton is the source of spin-spin coupling, and magnetic moment of proton does not depend upon B0. That's why J does not vary with B0. Is it clear? Now, coupling constant is designated as superscript NJAB. Here, N is the number of the bonds through which two protons are interacting. Is it clear? If there are three bonds between the two protons, then we can say n equal to 3. If only one bond is there, then we can say n equal to 1. Okay, and here AB is the protons undergoing coupling. AB is the protons undergoing coupling. For example, you can see here superscript 1j, 2j, 3j. These are denoting the number of bonds apart from one type of the protons. Okay, it means the number of bonds between two protons undergoing coupling. Now here, with the help of this example, you can see here is the J and N equal to 2 and B, C, H, B and C. Here H, B and HC. These two type of the protons are 1 and 2 bonds apart from each other. So we denoted here, or we mentioned here, N equal to 2, and HB and HC are the protons coupling with each other. And this type of the proton is called geminal coupling, as we will discuss in the type of coupling constants. Here, next one is HA and HB. HA and HB protons are 1, 2 and 3 bonds apart from each other. So we use N equal to 3 here, and J, HA and HB are the type of the protons, or the protons which are interacting with each other. Okay, and here these two protons are in cis position, so we mention here cis type of the coupling. Okay, now third one is HA and HC. These are also 1, 2 and 3 bonds apart, so we mentioned here 3, N equal to 3, J, HA and HC, and these two protons are trans or anti to each other, so this is called trans coupling constant. Is it clear? Here, factors affecting the coupling constant. There are many factors on which the value of J depends. Number one, number of the bonds through which the interaction is taking place, as we have seen in earlier examples, that when we increase it or when we move away from one protons to other protons, or we increases the distance between these two coupled protons, then the value will be lesser. And if the coupling protons are in very close proximity, then we get the value of coupling constant very high. The second is type of the bonds. Which type of the bonds are present in the molecule? Suppose a compound containing only sigma bonds, the value of J will be different, and type of the bonds, and if we go towards the single to double bonds and triple bonds, then correspondingly the value of J will also be changed, because in the same way when we go through sigma to double and triple bond, then the bond angle is also continuously changing. So the value of J also changed. Third one is the geometrical orientation of bonds. In molecules, the orientation of the bonds decides the value of J, and the geometric orientation of the bond can be measured or can be calculated using the bond angle or dihedral angle. So in the next class, we will discuss in detail these all factors one by one that affect the value of coupling constant. And here we are going to stop here, and we will present in the next class with the factors affecting coupling constant, and we will discuss in detail. Thank you all.